Okay, now we are in chapter 6. Okay, chapter 6 is about probability. Okay, probability is chances. Okay, what is the probability or what is the chances that certain event occur? Okay, contohnya, apakah probability sesuatu kejadian, satu peristiwa itu berlaku? Ini yang kita akan belajar dalam tajuk probability. Okay, for introductions, the principles of probability help to bridge the worlds of descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. So, dalam probability ada dalam statistik ada dua type of statistik. We call it descriptive statistic and inferential statistic. Okay, descriptive statistik ni macam yang you all belajar dalam course ni. This is about descriptive statistic. Descriptive statistik ni macam mean, median, mode. That is called descriptive statistic. Okay, dan satu lagi inferential statistic. Inferential statistic ni higher level sikit. Sebab yang ni lebih kepada assumption. Apa assumption yang kita buat at the initial stage of the study. That is called inferential statistic. Okay, probability by definition, it is defined as the chance of an event occur. Macam saya explain tadi. It's about chances of an event to occur. Apakah kebarangkalian sesuatu peristiwa itu berlaku. Contohnya, apakah kebarangkalian esok akan hujan? So, kita tak pasti. So, kebarangkalian esok akan hujan adalah 50-50. Kita kata sebagai 50-50 ataupun 50%. Ia boleh jadi hujan atau ia tak boleh jadi hujan. That is probability. Okay, to be specific, it is a numeric value that represents the likelihood or possibility of a particular event will occur. Okay, satu bentuk number yang kita assignkan kebarangkalian sesuatu peristiwa yang kita kaji itu akan berlaku. It is the basis of inferential statistics such as predictions and testing the hypothesis. So, probability ni adalah asas kepada inferential statistic. Kemungkinan sesuatu itu akan terjadi. Dia dipanggil sebagai inferential statistic, iaitu satu bentuk ramalan sesuatu peristiwa itu akan berlaku. Dan ianya melibatkan hipotesis. So, kalau disebut sebagai inferential statistic, ianya akan melibatkan pengujian terhadap hipotesis. Hipotesis ni maknanya ramalan kita. Apakah yang akan berlaku. The situation that involve probability such as observing or playing a game of chance such as card games and slot machines. So this is certain situation that involve probability. For example, insurance. This one also involve probability. Sama ada satu kemalangan itu akan berlaku ataupun tak berlaku yang akan melibatkan pemberian insurans. Satu lagi investment. Investment mengikut condition yang tertentu. Ini juga melibatkan probability. Weather forecasting, hujan ataupun tak hujan, panas ataupun tak panas. Okay, this is about ramalan. So, apa saja yang melibatkan ramalan sama ada ianya berlaku ataupun tak berlaku akan melibatkan probability ataupun kebarangkalian. Okay, other activities that involve with uncertainties. So, any situation involve uncertainties, ketidaktentuan, will involve probability. Okay, now basic terms dalam probability. Probability experiment which is an action or trial through which specific results are obtained. This is kita panggil sebagai probability experiment. Di mana dalam probability experiment ni ada satu perbuatan ataupun percubaan through which specific result kita obtain result-result yang spesifik dalam bentuk counting, measurement, pengukuran ataupun tindak balas. Okay, outcome adalah hasil daripada eksperimen kita tu. That is called outcome. Outcome is the result of a single trial in a probability experiment. Okay, what is sample space? Sample space is the set of all possible outcomes of a probability experiment. Ini kita panggil sample space. Sample space ni adalah ruang sampel di mana semua outcome yang possible, yang boleh jadi bagi satu eksperimen probability yang kita lakukan. Sample space diberi simbol sebagai S besar ni. Okay, sample space ni can be illustrated by drawing Venn or tree diagram. So we can represent sample space by a Venn drawing ataupun tree diagram. So these are all basic terms yang kita akan gunakan dalam tajuk probability. Okay, example probability experiment, toss a coin. Kalau kita toss a coin, okay, ruang sampel ataupun sample space yang kita akan dapat, which is possibility of the outcome from tossing a coin, which is head or tail. Ini kemungkinan yang kita akan dapat kalau peristiwa ataupun eksperimen probability yang kita lakukan adalah tossing a coin. Okay, kalau kita roll a die itu dadu yang ada 6 permukaan. Okay, so sample space ni boleh jadi 1, boleh appear 2, 3, 4, 5 atau 6. Semua kemungkinan bagi keputusan yang kita buat daripada kita roll a dice. Ini adalah sample space. Okay, answer a true-false question. True-false question, it can be either true or false. So this is a sample space. Tossing 2 coin, kalau 2 coin mana coin yang pertama akan appear apa, coin yang kedua akan appear apa. So these are all sample space. Kalau 2 coins yang kita tossing kan, sama ada dua-dua coin dapat head, ataupun satu first coin head, second coin tail, ataupun first coin tail, second coin head, ataupun first coin tail, second coin also tail. These are all sample space. Okay, let's do this as exercise. Okay, later I will give you a solution for this one. Okay, let's try this for your exercise. Find the sample space and determine the number of outcomes for the following probability experiments from rolling 2 dice. So what will be the sample space? The gender of the children if a family has 3 children. Tossing a coin and then rolling a dice. Okay, mana dua peristiwa. Number 4, recording a response to the survey statement at the right. Okay, and the gender of the respondent. Okay, number 5, recording a response to the survey statement at the right and the geographic location, either north, east, south, midwest, west of the respondents. Okay, try figure out what is the sample space of these 5 experiments. Venn and tree diagram. Okay, event is a subset of the sample space. So kita tahu apa dia sample space, which is outcome of the experiment. Okay, all outcome of the experiments. Okay, so event is a subset, sebahagian daripada sample space. It may consist of one or more outcomes. Okay. Tree diagram is a visual. Tree diagram ni ada event juga, tapi dalam bentuk visual. Kita display dalam bentuk tree. A visual display of the outcomes from a probability experiment by using branches that originate from a starting point. So we can use this to find number of possible outcomes in a sample. So these are 2 types of display of the outcome experiment. Okay, satu event and another one is tree diagram. Okay, event, a subset of the sample space. It may consist of one or more outcome represented by uppercase letters such as A, B and C. Okay, so event is a subset of the sample space. So subset ni kita lebih represent dalam bentuk set. Set dah kita bagi nama sebagai event A, event B, event C, dan kita akan senaraikan semua subset bagi sample space. Okay, an event can be simple. An event consists of a single outcome. So it can be a very simple one. Like tossing heads and rolling a tree can be represented as A equal to H. First outcome tu adalah head, and then roll number 3 yang appear is 3 ni hit. So event A equal to H3. So dia bentuk subset. Okay, in contrast, the event tossing heads and rolling an even number is not simple. It has 3 possible outcome. So kalau boleh jadi 3 kemungkinan outcome, kita akan bentuk set bagi 3 outcome. For example, yang pertama dapat hit kan, hit. Okay, yang kedua dapat even number. Yang kedua akan jadi 2, 4, 6. So kita kena senaraikan all possible event yang memenuhi syaratnya ni, which is tossing coin pertama hit, yang kedua, and then rolling a dice akan dapat even number. So kita senaraikan apa event yang memenuhi kriteria yang ni. So kita akan dapat event yang berbentuk begini. Compound or composite as an event with more than one outcome. Okay, getting an odd number when a die is rolled. Okay, so we call this a composite, which is an event with more than one outcome. For example, getting an odd number when a dice is rolled kan, satu outcome saja. Kita sebut sebagai a compound event. Okay, so one outcome saja. For example, even odd number yang appear, kalau kita roll a dice akan appear 1, 2, 3 untuk kriteria getting an odd number. So this is a compound or composite event. Okay, the complement of event A is the set of all outcomes in a sample space that are not included in event A. So denoted by A prime or A bar. Kalau A prime or A bar is the other way round. Makna semua event-event yang dalam sample space tu yang bukan memenuhi kriteria A. Kriteria A kata begini. Contohnya head yang akan appear. Tapi kalau A prime ataupun A bar, maknanya sebaliknya adalah tail yang akan appear. That is considered as complement of event. Denoted by symbol A prime or A bar. Ini macam opposite of that event. Okay, now we learn how to calculate probability. Once we have a sample space for an experiment, we need to specify the probability of each event. So this is important. So we need to identify the probability of each event so that we know what is the situation for those events, and then we can predict the next event that will occur. The probability is the measure of how likely the event will occur. So probability is macam ramalan kita. Berapakah kebarangkalian yang sesuatu event atau peristiwa itu akan berlaku. So kita akan buat prediction on the future event. We use the letter P to denote probabilities. So we use P as probabilities. For example, if we toss a coin, we denote the probability that the coin lands head by P bracket head. So meaning that what is the probability that heads of coins lands. Notation: if A denotes an event, the probability of event A occurring is denoted by P bracket A. P bracket ni adalah kebarangkalian peristiwa A berlaku. So formula for calculating probability is probability A occur equal number of outcome in A over total number of outcomes. So maknanya kalau berapakah kebarangkalian head berlaku, so number of outcome in A ni adalah daripada berapa balingan, berapa tossing of coins tu, berapa bilangan kepala yang appear over number of outcome. Kalau contohnya kita baling sebanyak 5 kali, so total number of outcome N adalah 5. So probability A occur equal to K number of outcome A occur over total number of outcome. Okay, range of probability. So probability of an event is always between 0 and 1. That is, for any type of probability of an event, dia mestilah berada di antara 0 atau 1. Dia tak boleh berjadi less than or greater than 1. So probability dalam range ni saja. If the probability of an event is 1 or P of A equal 1, meaning that the event is certain to occur. Maknanya perkara ini memang tetap akan berlaku macam mana pun kalau probability is 1. If the probability of an event is 0, it means that nanti pembetulan should be P of A equal 0. The event is impossible to occur. Kalau probability 0 maknanya event tu tak akan berlaku langsung. A probability of 0.1 indicates that an event has an even chance of occurring. So manakala probability 0.5 maknanya 50-50 event tu boleh berlaku. Contoh esok akan hujan. Jadi probability dia adalah 0.5. The sum of the probabilities of all outcomes in a sample space is 1 or 100%. So kalau total probability semua event yang akan berlaku tu mestilah akan equal 1 ataupun 100%. Maknanya all possible outcome, kita akan listkan one by one what are all the possible outcome. So probability of each possible outcome tu total akan equal to 1. So this graph shows the possible range of probabilities and their meaning. Okay, kalau probability to 0 meaning that impossible to occur. Okay, kalau in between that kurang, mana near to 0 probability tu maknanya unlikely, almost impossible. Kalau tengah-tengah 0.5 tu makna even chance, boleh jadi berlaku atau tak berlaku, sama possibility dia. Kalau near to 1, most probably it is likely to occur. Okay, kalau equal to 1, it is certain that the event will occur. So this is the range between 0 to 1. So lagi near to 1, lagi possible that the event to occur. Okay, the chances for event to occur is almost possible. Okay, an event that occurs with a probability of 0.05 or less is typically considered unusual. Kalau less 0.05 or less tu maknanya near to 0. So kita katakan yang event tu is almost ataupun unusual. Unusual events are highly unlikely to occur. So meaning that 0.05 or below. Okay, let's do the exercise. Okay, try to do this on your own. Okay, read this exercise and try to figure out what is the solution for number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, rounding off probabilities, meaning that we want to round off the probabilities to the near numeric values. Okay, so that to make it easy for us to make prediction in the future. Probabilities can be written as fraction, decimals or percent. When expressing the value, either give the reduced fraction or rounded to 2 or 3 decimal places. Normally kita round up to either 2 or 3 decimal place. Suggestion, when a probability is not a simple fraction such as 2 over 3 or 5 over 9, express it as a decimal so that the number can be better understood. So when the probability of an event is an extremely small decimal, it is permissible to round the decimal to the first non-zero digit after decimal point. So this is how we normally do to round off the probabilities. So we don't want to make the longer decimal numbers of probabilities values, so it makes us hard to calculate the following or the next event of probability. So that's why we need to round off the probability to either 1 or 2 decimal place. Okay, let's do this for your exercise. Okay, a gumball machine contain gumball of 5 different colors. Okay, given, okay, the machine randomly select one gumball. What is the probability that the gumball selected is these colors? Okay, try to answer this on your own. Number 2, a pair of dice are rolled. What is the probability of not rolling doubles or rolling 10 or less? Okay, try to figure out using the probabilities from these two events.